Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm going to record two parts for you today. The first part is going to be the question and answer from the Instagram posts, and the second is just going to be some of my favourites that I'm using at the minute and some of the new finds that I want to share with you. So keep watching and I hope you like. This is my makeup today. I will list all the products that I use. Okay, so some of the questions that I got asked. So how often do you clean your brushes? So I clean my brushes every time I use them. So if I use them for an eyeshadow, I'll clean it before I use it again. There's different ways you can clean your brushes. You can use a brush cleaner. So this one is a MAC one. This is the one that I use the most. You can also use one of the colour switches, which you can order from the Morphe Brushes website. So what it is, it's like a little sponge. So if you use an eyeshadow brush for a black eyeshadow, for example, but you needed to use that brush again for a brown shadow, you can buff all the colour off in this colour switch, and then it's ready to be used again. It obviously doesn't take out the germs, but if you're using it on the same person, it doesn't really matter. But obviously if you're going to use it on someone else, then you need to be making sure you use a proper brush cleaner. The great thing about this brush cleaner from MAC is that it is made with 60% alcohol, so it kills all germs, it removes all makeup, and it also air dries really quickly. So if you're going to be using it straight on someone else, or you want to change the colour, you can do that, and it's not going to make the brush wet, so therefore you can't use it, which if you do shampoo and conditioner, obviously they're going to be soaking for a while. And then I deep shampoo and condition my brushes about once a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. Because of what I do tattooing in the week. So on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I do mainly cosmetic tattooing, and then at the weekends is when I do my makeup. So I'm really only using my brushes for 1 or 2 days a week, so I would, at the end of that, always clean them. When cleaning your brushes, as in like a deep clean, like a wet clean, I would shampoo them, and then I would condition them. The ones that are natural hair, you must condition them because they're just like normal hair. If you don't look after them, they're just gonna ruin and break and snap. If it's synthetic hair, however, you don't need to condition it because it's not gonna absorb the conditioner anyway. With synthetic brushes, you can also use an antibacterial soap as opposed to a shampoo if you wanted. But if you're not using something antibacterial to clean them in between, you must make sure that it is antibacterial. So it says, what's the best primer and long-lasting foundation? So I couldn't pin one primer and one foundation. If you go over to my blog, which is www.olivianaylermua.blogspot.com, I have posts on there about primers and about foundations. So I think I've done my top 10 foundations, and there's about 10 primers as well, and that tells you all the different primers that I've used and that I like and the reasons why and what kind of skin they're for. So if you go on there, you'll be able to get all the information on there. So the next one, it says, hi Olivia, my question would be how to stop my bronzer and blusher from becoming patchy. I've tried everything from applying face powder all over my foundation and powder over my blusher and primer to stop it from going patchy, and it still doesn't work. Maybe it's just an uneven skin tone. Okay, so that's Princess Baby 1988. So if your makeup is going patchy, it's your application. There's so many different reasons why it could go patchy. First of all, your skincare might not be right for your skin. If you've got particularly dry skin and you're not using a moisturiser that's enough for it, it will start to absorb your makeup. Also, you might not be using the primer that is right for your skin. So if you've got particularly dry skin, you need to really be using a primer with silica in that's going to act as a barrier so your skin can't actually absorb it. If you've got uneven skin tone, like you say, then maybe you need to up your coverage on your foundation a little bit. Chances are the application just isn't right on all of those products, and so I find a lot when I'm doing one-to-one lessons that people don't use enough, so they'll be applying the foundation and they won't have enough on, so they're dragging the foundation across the face, which in turn when it dries is going to go completely patchy. So my best recommendation to you would be to get a one-to-one lesson with either myself or someone closer to home. I don't know where you are, and they will show you how to apply your makeup professionally, how to layer it properly, and how to get the perfect finish. I would say it's probably the way that you're applying it or the brushes that you're using. So yeah, what false lashes do you recommend? So on my clients, I use mainly Eldora false lashes. I love these because there's a massive range. They're affordable as well. They're not really expensive, and they have all different types of lashes. So I'm a massive fan of natural hair lashes. So I like them because they've got a massive range of natural hair lashes. Today I've got on the Huda Beauty lashes in Samantha. I absolutely love these. And what other lashes do I like? I like Ardell Wispies. I like those red cherry ones as well. I might actually order some of those soon because they're really cheap as well, but they're amazing quality. What do you use to set under your eyes? Can't find anything for fair skin that is light enough and doesn't crease. That's Beauty by Becky. So under my eyes today, I've used the Charlotte Tilbury powder in number 2, the Airbrush Flawless Finish. This is a semi-translucent powder. It comes in 3 shades, light, medium and dark. I've not gone too light under my eyes, so I've used number 2, but if I was going to go brighter, I would use number 1, which is the lightest colour, so that would be perfect for really fair skin. Also, you could use a completely translucent loose powder. The Laura Mercier one is nice, and she also does a universal one, which is actually the colour white, whereas the translucent's actually got a slight yellowy tone to it. Or you could use something like MAC Studio Fix powder in like an NC15 or an NW13, and that would be a full coverage finish for under your eyes, which would stop it from creasing. If your eye makeup is creasing underneath, then and you're setting it still, you're probably setting it when it's not fully smooth, when the concealer's not fully smooth. So you want to make sure that's smooth before you set, because if you set and there is lines, then it's just going to crease as well. Also, have you seen the method baking? That's been around for a while, where you put quite a lot of translucent powder on and then leave it to set and then dust it off. I will do a tutorial on that because I do sometimes use it myself. I like more of a dewy finish in makeup in general, but I will do a demonstration on how. So Steph_Laura XX. Hi, would you be able to recommend a good foundation highlighter for bridal makeups? So foundation, it all depends on your bride. You can't just pick one foundation. I like to use Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, which is a medium to full coverage foundation, and it has a natural finish and it's buildable coverage as well, so you can get that a little bit extra with it. I would use that for normal, dry, and if someone's not too oily, you could use that because it is oil free, but it depends how that bride likes their finish. Some people like a dewy look, so if they had oily skin and they wanted to embrace their shine, then that'd be absolutely no problem. I also like the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. That is a dewy finish, sheer to medium coverage. That's the one that I've got on now. And you can also seal it and to make it a little bit more natural finish rather than dewy. For an oily skin, you've got Maestro from Giorgio Armani. It does have oil in it, but it is a matte finish, so it does actually soak up any oil. And if you use the correct primer and moisturiser, then that could be really nice. What else? I like Face and Body a lot. Face and Body, again, is oil free, water-based foundation, sheer to medium coverage. If someone had a particularly oily skin and wanted it to be matte and long wearing, I'd probably use a Prolongwear concealer on its own from MAC. Comes in a little bottle like this. And I would just buff that all over onto the skin. Highlighter for bridal, the cream colour bases from MAC are really nice. You've got Hush, Luna and Pearl. Luna's the brightest, Pearl's like a yellowy highlighter, and Hush is a pinky one. They're really nice because they're really creamy and they're really long wearing. I think I like the Becca Cosmetics ones, so that's these ones. I've got Opal on today. They're really nice and really shimmery. But yeah, so probably those. Tess Hallett asked, can I go through my daily skincare? So at the minute I am using my Clinique 3-step, which I am skin type number 1. I used to work for Clinique 2 years ago, and I just love their skincare. There's massive mixed reviews about it. It works for me. I use the facial soap, and then I use the clarifying lotion, and then I use the Dramatically Different moisturising lotion, and then after that's soaked in, I apply my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. And to take my makeup off at night, I'll take my eye makeup off with a wipe or eye makeup remover, and then I'll use Charlotte Tilbury's makeup cleanser to get my makeup off, and then I'll use my clarifying lotion and my Dramatically Different moisturising lotion again. And then at night, for a night cream, I've been using the Liz Earle moisturiser for really dry sensitive skin. I have very dry skin, and if I don't look after it, it gets quite like under the skin lumps. So yeah, that's what I'm using at the minute, and I like it. So the lady that asked before said, can you explain colour correction concealers for redness and under eye bags? Again, there is a blog on my a post on my blog that goes through all that, so if you head over there, it's all on there. Where did I train? How did I get to where I am today? So training wise, I am pretty much self-taught. I did start a college course when I was 21 after I finished uni, and I decided I wanted to do makeup again. So I did do started to do a college course, and I left halfway through because it wasn't getting me anywhere. I wasn't learning anything. I was already at a level that they teach you to, so it was just pointless me continuing with it. And it was also a lot of special effects, which I had no interest in. After that, I was working at Clinique at the time, and then so I just left that and I just started practicing, watched loads of YouTube videos. I got to know some photographers, and I used to do test shoots, and I look back now and it's mad how far I've come, but at the time I was so proud. And you know, everyone's got to start somewhere, so I would say definitely networking with people. There's a website called Model Mayhem, so you can meet models and photographers and hairstylists and fashion designers, and you can all get together and create images together. So I did that, and then I applied to go and work with MAC, and I was there for 18 months, and you just pick up things from other girls. When you're around other makeup artists, you just learn off each other. It's not so much that I was trained by them, because MAC don't actually offer a training as such. They teach you products and they give you, tips and hints, and they tell you a lot about trends, but there's no like direct makeup training. So yeah, I just picked up, and when I started at MAC, the artists that worked there were just phenomenal. Like, they are, but everyone slowly leaves in time as you do, because you go off and you do your own thing. So yeah, I just worked really hard, networking, and yeah, that's it really. What are the best products to be taken to the beach and holidays with you this summer for a gorgeous dewy look? I was looking at the Charlotte Tilbury's beach sticks, and I was browsing Sephora and wondered if you had any recommendations, because I'm going travelling. And that's Leah Louise Carr. So my favourite thing for the summer is my strobe liquid, which is the Golden Elixir, and I have no idea why MAC made that limited, just it's beyond me. So you can get the normal strobe, which will also add radiance, or I would get the Luster Drops from MAC, which is basically very similar to that. I would use that all over my face as a base, add the radiance and give you that glow. And then I don't like a lot of coverage, so I would either take a tinted moisturiser. MAC do Studio Tint, which is really good, and they also do the BB creams for the more oily skin in the tube. So I think if you're dry, I would take the Studio Tint, and if you're oily, I would use the BB cream. Both really long wearing, and they're great for holidays. You can just whack them on. I'd buy, obviously if you tan, buy a couple of shades darker. Yeah, those Charlotte Tilbury Beach Sticks look ace. I haven't actually tried them yet, so that's something I want to do. And probably I would just take a highlighter and a bronzer like I've got on today. I've got the bronzer from NARS in Laguna, which actually has a little bit of a shimmer in. I've used that to just contour everywhere, and then I've used the Opal highlighter, and yeah, so that's probably what I would take. Katie Harben has asked, how do I get my eyeshadows to stay so vibrant? When I blend the colour, it seems to go dull. I can never get the same effect as when I've had my eye makeup done. So that is literally just a skill thing. I would say maybe get a one-to-one lesson or watch loads of YouTubes, but the thing with the YouTube, you can watch it, but there's no one to tell you that you're doing it right or wrong. Whereas if you have a one-to-one lesson, someone can say to you, actually, this is why it's not doing it. If your eyeshadows aren't staying where you want them and they're all blended into one, it means that you're blending them into each other, so you're probably over blending, and you're also putting the brush into the colour rather than just keeping it on the edges of the two colours that you want to blend together. So yeah, just get a lesson and someone can show you how to blend eyeshadows in the easiest way. My favourite way to apply MAC face and body would be with a 159 brush, which is this one. It's the best brush, I think, for applying foundations in general. I just love it. It's from MAC. I think it's about £30. But your MAC brushes, they last you so long, so they're well worth the money, I think. Best build up self tan lotion for the body and the face. I use Saint-Tropez every day. Not literally every day, it's called every day. If I want a bit of a gradual tan, they do a body one and a face one, and the colour's really nice. It doesn't go patchy, it doesn't smell. So yeah, Saint-Tropez one. How to apply the MAC cream colour bases from Leah. I use either my fingers, so my fourth finger mainly, or I would use a flat foundation brush. So I would use one of the half ones probably from MAC, so it's a 193. So you just pick it up and you just pat like this. If you drag, it will disturb all the makeup underneath because it's so creamy and it'll just drag it. So you want to always just tap it like that and just blend. Your fingers will blend nicer than a brush will, so I think normally I'd probably tap it on with the brush and then blend out the edges with my fingers. Best makeup brushes to use for foundations and contouring that aren't mega expensive. That's from Lisa Wildish. I have to say, I think your brushes are the most important part. I always say to my clients, if you give me cheap makeup and my brushes, I'll still be able to make you look nice. If you give me my makeup and cheap crap brushes, then I'm probably going to struggle. Your brushes are your tools, they're what you're actually applying your makeup with, so it's the last place you want to cut corners. I would cut a corner with a cheaper bronzer or a cheaper lipstick or mascara before I would cut a corner with a brush. There is a site called Morph Brushes from America. They are fab and they are super cheap, but you do end up paying shipping and sometimes customs on them. So it works out probably about £4 a brush, but then after you've paid everything, it's probably about 6 or 7 maybe 8, which is still really cheap, and the quality is amazing. They've just brought out a range which is flawless, which is really good. I got a few of them. Some brush sets are really good, so I have the Zoeva Rose Gold brush sets. It's a face one and a eye one, and those brushes are amazing. They're not that expensive, they're like this, and you can get them in all different colours, and they come just with a set like brushes. And also Hair and Makeup Addiction, I think it's called Makeup Addiction Cosmetics now actually. This was from the Luxe range. They're amazing. I think I paid £70 and you get about 12 brushes or something, so they're really good. But my faves probably are my MAC for my face brushes. I love NARS ones as well, but they aren't cheap. Sigma do some nice brushes, but again, they're not dead cheap. They're affordable, but they're not super cheap, and I just don't think it's somewhere that you should cut corners. I think you're better off investing there and then, you know, building up your makeups over time rather than getting all your makeup and building your brushes up over time. How do you use a beauty blender correctly? And that's from Rachel. So you should use it damp. I've just used mine now to put my makeup on. So you should use it damp. So you wash it with either antibacterial soap, liquid, or a bar, or they have their own soaps that you can buy. And you wash it, you wring it out, and you get a piece of kitchen roll or a towel and you squeeze dead hard to pull all the excess water out, and then you bounce. So no dragging, constant press all the way around. The only time I ever drag is down my neck. If you drag, you're not going to get the full coverage. The whole point is that you stipple it on. In terms of beauty blenders, I would use Beauty Blender the brand because they're the best. I have tried other ones. Real Techniques do one, which is good, but I love the Beauty Blender actual brand, so that's who I would use even. But I got mine from their website, or you can get them from Space NK at the minute, I think, as well. What kind of kit bag case do you use to transport your freelance kit from job to job? My current kit bag is just not very portable, and that's Kelly Elizabeth Makeup. So when I first started off doing makeup, I had bought one of those like boxes. The worst thing I've ever done. It was like £60, and I got it cheap as well because I got it on eBay, and it was just a massive, heavy, clumpy box, and I don't even know how I stuck by it for about a year, and it was just so heavy, and it wasn't easy to get about. The best thing you can buy is a suitcase. A small, you know, mine probably comes up to my thigh, and it's more like a square shape, and it's made of material, so it's really light, and I got mine from Home Bargains and it was £14.99. And inside it I've got loads of little clear makeup bags, so everything's sectioned off in there, and it's just the best, easiest thing to have. That's what I would get. And just make sure, I mean, I don't do mobile makeup anymore, I only do mobile for weddings, so my mobile kit is now a wedding kit effectively. But yeah, just condense it down, you know, buy the makeup that you want to buy, but for your clients, and when you've got to drag everything around, just don't drag unnecessary stuff. Find, you know, what you're going to use and what you're going to make the most of, and put that in your kit. So Loza D88 asked, when you started as a makeup artist, did you struggle with confidence, and how did you overcome it? If so, oh my god, so much. Like when I first started, when I used to go on Model Mayhem and I met photographers and we used to meet up, I literally was a mess like before. It was so nerve-wracking, but you've just got to go, and you've got to try, and you know, yeah, you're going to mess up, and sometimes you're going to do something and it's not going to go the way you wanted it to go, but that's how you learn, and the best way to learn is from your own mistakes. So, you know, just try, just practice. I mean, the more you practice, the more you build up your confidence. Like now, if I was going to a shoot, as long as it was, I mean, I'm not very creative in general, as in like I wouldn't be good on some wacky, colourful, mad theme, you know, editorial style. It's just not me. Like I like to make people look beautiful, I like to make people look glamorous, and I like to make people feel amazing. That's what I like. I don't like, you know, really, really creative projects, because it's just not something that I'm strong. It's not my strong point at all. But that's fine, and I'm happy with that, and I like that about me. You've just got to figure it out for yourself, and you will. From more the jobs and the work experience you go on, you'll realise what you like and what you don't like, and you don't have to do things you don't like. If you don't like doing bridal makeup, don't do bridal makeup. Easy as that. If you don't like doing shoots and editorial work, don't do them. So just try everything and learn from your mistakes. Don't see anything as like a failure, just learn from it and move on. But yeah, just practice. The more you practice, the better you'll. Someone said, what's the best way to break the industry, and did you have a lot of knockbacks when you first started out? Yeah, so I first applied to MAC when I was 21, and it was when I just came back from uni, and I applied and I rang them up, and I just totally didn't even prepare, like, to be honest. I did prepare in terms of, interview questions, but I didn't really know what to expect. And no one I knew worked at MAC, no one was to tell me, what was going to be. And they get asked, what's your favourite MAC product? How would you sell it to a customer? And anyway, I didn't get through, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I was like devastated, because that was my plan. I'm going to apply to MAC, and then I'm going to be an amazing makeup artist. So I didn't get in, and then that's when I went and worked for Clinique. And to be honest, it's the best thing that could ever happen to me, because I got to do things my own way. And knockbacks are good, and everything happens for a reason. And I absolutely love my time at Clinique. I met one of my closest friends now, and it taught me a lot about skin, which is absolutely invaluable. Not to say that MAC doesn't teach about skin, because it does, but it's different. It's a different aspect. And I think I have benefited so much from my experience there than had I just gone to MAC and just worked for them. Best way to break the industry, just work hard. I don't think there's any rules or any easy explanation. You just got to work dead hard and try your best. So next, I just want to spend a few minutes just going through some things that I have recently found and recently like. So the first thing is Makeup Geek Cosmetics. So these eyeshadows that I found are amazing. This is the Vegas Lights palette. I don't know if you can see that. So this one here is very, very similar to Uninterrupted from MAC, which is like my favourite. But it's always out of stock, so that's handy. The colours are so pigmented, and they are really blendable and creamy and full coverage, so I love them. And then I also got from Makeup Geek all these. So this is a Z palette as well, which I wanted to tell you about, but we'll come back to that in a second. So the shades that I got were Corrupt, which is like really black. I got Frappe, which is really nice. Cocoa Bear, which is lovely. Brown Sugar, which is nice. But I'm a warm tone kind of girl. So if you have a look at those, they're all fairly warm. And then these on this side are their foiled eyeshadows, which are like metallic, and they're amazing. And I just bought the foiled bundle because I couldn't pick. But yeah, they're fab, like I absolutely love them. So I think I'll be using these a lot. But I will list all the colours that I got underneath. So this is a Z palette. So it is just a palette like this. And then you get these magnets in with it. Now, so when you have like loads of eyeshadows in your kit and you need to condense them into a palette, it's great because you just stick these little, okay, so for example, these are my New Motives eyeshadows, and they aren't magnetic. So you stick the magnet to the bottom of the eyeshadow, and then when you put it in there, it's magnetic. So it means you can condense, because your most eyeshadows, they come like this. So you can just take it out of the packet and condense it onto a palette. And there's loads of things sometimes when you've got like black eyeshadows or blushes and you want to burn them out to put onto palettes because you don't want loads of stuff. You can just burn them out and stick the magnet on and then condense it all. So you can have, you know, a blusher palette or an eyeshadow palette, because I've got loads ones from MAC, but they don't stick, so I think I've ended up like getting a bit of blue tack and sticking them on. So they're great, and they're not that expensive either. If you just Google Z palettes, it comes up. And then I want to show you these, which are the new NARS Dual Intensity Blushes. So I've got 3 colours in them. I'll show you. So I got this one. So this one is Frenzy. So this is a really nice coral blusher, and then this is just the best highlighter ever. So nice. I don't know if you can see. So I wore that the other day. And then on this one is Craving. I've not actually used this one yet. I might even stuck my finger in it yet. So the highlighter on this one is more of like a silvery pink colour. And then it's like more like a bronzy blush. The blushes, when you apply them with a brush, they don't come out. They come out with a good pigment, but it's not too strong and it's quite soft, which is why I love them. And they can also be used wet. They're very similar to the in extra dimension stuff that MAC bring out. So I love them. And then I also got Dew Relation, which Mario, Kim Kardashian's makeup artist, uses, and I wouldn't really use either of those as a blusher. I would use them both as highlighters. That one's more peachy and that one's more gold, but it isn't quite as bright as the first one. I'll show you. I'm running out of fingers. See if you can see. That was the first one, and then those. I love them. I love highlighters, anything shiny, anything sparkly. And then I have these eyeshadows. Now I used these the other week and everyone was like, what eyeshadows are those? And they're the Inglot eyeshadows. So you make up a palette like that, but I can't get them out. You have to slam them out to get them out. And I don't fancy breaking my eyeshadows. So I bought 5 shimmery ones and then 5 mattes, and they're just amazing. They're very similar to the Makeup Geek ones actually. They are really highly pigmented and so good at blending, really creamy, but I couldn't tell you what colours they are because I don't fancy trying to smash them. So yeah, what else? Oh, so my NARS Kabuki brushes are some of my favourite things. So I've used this one today to do this and around, and then this I love, the flat one, for really getting under there. I haven't used it today, but it's really good if you've bronzed your face to contour and then you just want to really deepen your cheekbones or down the side of your nose. So that is amazing. I think they're about £30 something each, so they're not cheap, but they're fab and they're such good quality, and you just know that they're just not going to break on you or fall out and fall to pieces. Oh, I want to show you this eyeliner. So I've got this as well, and this is Inglot Gel Liner. So it's number 77. This is the best eyeliner I've ever had. It is super, super black, so easy to put on. It's really not thick and cloggy, and it is, I don't know if it's waterproof, but it's definitely water resistant. It's amazing. And another one that I've got, which is also really, really good, is the Motives one, which is the Little Black Dress, which is actually waterproof. The texture is a little bit thicker, but they're both amazing. So, and that one's called Little Black Dress, and the Inglot one is number 77. So they're fab. Oh, I got this palette from Motives, which is what I've used on my eyes today. So today on my eyes I've used Maybelline Colour Tattoo 24 Hour. I've got a few shades of these cream bases. They're very similar to paint pots, but better because they just do not move. They don't crease. Let me just check mine now. Yeah, no creasing whatsoever. Now my eyelids, you know, when I'm completely relaxed, they sit on themselves. So I tend to lose all my shadow. Whatever I put in the actual crease just goes. It just melts onto itself, which is really attractive. And this, it doesn't do it when I use these. So and also when I use some Too Faced ones, which I'll show you in a second. So I've used this. This is metallic pomegranate, and oh my god, it does not come off. Like, I put them on my hand when I was deciding which colours I wanted, and I literally couldn't get it off. I couldn't get it off the back of my hand, which I know might sound a bit scary, but for the purpose of wearing makeup, it is amazing. So I've got a few of those, and then I have this new Motives Mavens palette, and look at the size of these eyeshadows. Like, they're huge when you compare it to the normal Motives eyeshadow, which is a normal eyeshadow. It's like twice the size, and just such good value for money. And they're amazing, and they're really creamy, really blendable, really pigmented. I've got Serene on now, I think. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. No, I've got Bordeaux on now with Native to blend and Shell in my brow bone and tear duct, and they're amazing. So I love that. Again, you can get that from my website with Motives, and I will put the link below and put the discount code on for you. So yeah, amazing quality and amazing value for money. So those shades, which I think are all pretty wearable, and they're also more on the cool side of things as well, which is a bit different for me. Too Faced Cosmetics, I wanted to show you for a minute. I've got this little tester one here, but this is the primed poreless primer. I've got this in full size in my kit, and it is the best primer for just smoothing out your skin. It isn't on my blog, this one, because I've only just found it recently, but it's very similar to the Pore Professional by Benefit, but I just love this one. I use this in work just on its own, because it just fills in, because I'm quite pory here, and it just fills in all the pores, and it looks amazing, although I didn't use it today, so if I'm looking a bit lumpy, a little bit. And then also Too Faced do these Shadow Insurance, which are just as non-creasy as the Maybelline ones. I've got Champagne and Candlelight in these. I don't know how many colours they do, they're the only two I got. I got these from America, but you can order them online. And I really like the Too Faced products. And one of my favourite brands at the minute is Charlotte Tilbury, which you may know. Her foundation is just like the best foundation I've ever found in my life. I've always been a face and body wearer, and since I found this, I haven't worn face and body much. I just think it's just super long wearing, and it's just looks so nice. You can mat it down, you can leave it to be dewy, you can do whatever you want with it. And her products are amazing. I also use the powder, which is the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, and I love the Bronze and Glow Sculpting Duo, they're just amazing. And I use her Sculpt brush when I'm applying that, and I use a fan brush, which is the M310 to highlight, which is what I've used today. The under eye concealer she does, the retoucher, is brilliant. The eye cheat that she does, which is the nude one for the waterline, is amazing. She also does these lip cheats, which are called Iconic Nude and Pillow Talk, which are just like universal nudes. One's more browny, one's more pink, and you can just use it to make your lips look fuller. I just absolutely love her brand. I think Selfridges have just got another bigger counter of hers in Manchester, so I'm excited to go down and check that out because I haven't actually been shopping in Manchester for a while. So yeah, so that's everything that I want to share with you today. I'm going to list everything that I've used on my face today underneath. I'm going to list all the products that I've recommended today underneath. And yeah, please just let me know what you think, what you want me to do for you in terms of YouTube videos, anything you want me to record for you for YouTube, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, a subscribe, and yeah, thanks for watching. I hope I've not bored you too much. I know it's going to be a long one, but yeah,